McDonald. Oh, baby!
What's the best shot you've ever made in your career?
Can I have two?
Yes, you can have two.
Here's McDonald again.
Who proposed to who?
I didn't think he was really gonna do it.
What's it like for a young buck like you to try and come in there and be the quarterback of the team?
You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that kind of stuck with me.
Hey family, it's that time again. Time for the Carlos Watson Show. Now today, I'm gonna introduce you to one of my favorite people. Aari McDonald is the Allen Iverson of basketball. She's a young gun, short little thing who's dynamic, is a superstar, entering the WNBA, but this past spring during the NCAA tournament, texted my producer in the middle of the night. I said, you gotta get me this young superstar from the University of Arizona. Get me Aari McDonald for the show. Thankfully, they did. She's all kinds of fun. I'm a big fan. Aari McDonald.
The Carlos Watson Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance.
Hey, Aari.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Aari McDonald. Look at this shot from half court.
Quick hands. You see she tried to take it inside. McDonald on the break.
McDonald coming off back-to-back 30-point games and starts with a three.
Congratulations. I was so, if you heard somebody loud screaming on his TV, that was me during the tournament. I was loving everything about what you were doing. Just, you gained one big new fan here. I love your game, and I love the way you play.
Thank you.
Were you having as much fun as it looked, or how did you feel out there?
I was having so much fun. I was getting my teammates involved. We were hitting shots.
Shot clock down to 5. McDonald. Oh, baby!
What's the best shot you've ever made in your career?
Can I have two?
Oh, yes, you could have two. You could have two.
That three in the UConn game, the tournament.
Baptiste back in. McDonald splashes another three.
And also beating Stanford at Arizona. I'll probably say that one for the game winner.
Shot clock, game clock. McDonald all the way for the lead. Williams, little runner off the back of the iron. They fight for the basketball. It's over.
Now, do you get nervous right when you get on the court and then it goes away a minute or two later? Or are you hot and ready like the minute you get on the court for a game?
The minute I step foot on the court for warm-ups, I'm ready. I'm locked in.
When was the last time you were either intimidated or scared on the court?
McDonald for three. Makes you pay.
I don't get scared or intimidated. I mean, I feel like people put their shoes on just like me. So why be scared?
5.5 to go in the national championship game of what has been an unforgettable tournament.
Even when you were taking the last shot at that Stanford game, were you nervous about taking the last shot for the game?
I wasn't nervous at all. Everyone knew, whether you were there or watching from your homes, I helped my team, I willed my team to the championship. And so, I mean, this is my last game, my last year in Arizona uniform. So, I mean, I had to take that shot. If I can do it again, the same exact play, the people on me, I will take that shot again.
McDonald, 2 seconds. McDonald trapped, heaves, can't hit. That is it.
Did either of your parents play basketball growing up?
My parents did play basketball. My dad also played football.
Where'd you get that left-handed game from?
I think I'm probably one of 3 lefties in my family, but I think I got my skill, I think, both from my parents and also just, watching my older brother play. I kind of took things, dissected the game and took things and added them to mine. I got it from a little bit from everybody.
And who were your favorite players growing up?
I loved Candace Parker, Cappie Poindexter.
Shot clock down to 2. Cappie notices, fires it up deep in the air. Cappie!
Skylar Diggins.
You do now remind me of Skylar a little bit.
Diggins Smith answers.
Were you a good player as like a young elementary school player, or did you only get better later?
Starting out, you seen potential for sure. I always played against older people. I even played with boys for a minute. Just playing with older people and then playing with boys, it definitely helped me.
Did you play any other sports as well, or were you a basketball person all the way through?
I played volleyball until like sophomore year of high school. Then I also ran track until like 7th grade.
82 games now in a row that leads the nation in double figures.
What is your superpower as a basketball player?
I will have to say my speed. I mean, I think that helps me.
You play good defense. I know you were Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12, and you could put up buckets.
Yes, I take pride, especially when I'm defensive end. I take pride.
Maybe it's Kemba Walker that you remind me of, because when Kemba was in college,
Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac, Kemba does it again.
I mean, you're too young to remember this, Ari, but he didn't have a real squad, and he willed them there by himself. And so have you ever met him or have you followed him at all?
The crazy thing, you brought that up. I literally will have conversations about my dad, and I remember Kimba's senior year, he went on that 11-game win streak from the tournament.
Yes.
And won it. Like, I used to watch that before every game. Like, that would give me motivation.
Have you had a chance to travel very much?
Yeah.
Now, what's the most beautiful place you think you've ever been?
Sydney, Australia. That was beautiful. Like, the water was so clear. You can see. Snorkeling was fun. I mean, that's probably the most beautiful place I've been.
Where would you love to go next?
I would probably say Dubai. I want to go there. It looks nice, and my fiance, he watches a lot of videos, and so we'll go there eventually, but it just looks nice, and just the water is just beautiful.
Now, are you more of a hotel or an Airbnb girl?
Airbnb, for sure.
What's the best Airbnb you've ever stayed in?
Got an Airbnb with my brother. It was really nice, had a pool. And it allowed my mom and my aunts to cook. So, I mean, you kind of have more freedom with an Airbnb. You have, like, more guests on the Airbnb. Nice.
Well, you showed up at Arizona. They only won 6 games. And then the next season, with you on the squad, they're winning 24. Huge swing.
Arie McDonald. You know, there you go. Arie McDonald from distance.
How did they respond to you?
Yeah, everyone was happy to have me when I transferred. They were sad that I couldn't play right away, but I made them better. I was on the scout team for a whole year, and I think I did that. Like, I pushed them. Like, I made them earn every bucket, made them defend me.
What's the most interesting thing you feel like you've learned about not only how to dream fearlessly, but how to bring those dreams alive?
I'll probably say always approaching things with an open mind, like not saying like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go and learn this. Always expand your learning. So, I mean, I think that's been helping me.
Tell me a little bit about this last year and what it was like to be a college student during all the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery protests. Was that something that was on your mind?
Yeah, it was tough. Just being an African-American woman, like my family being African-American, it was tough. And it was hard for me at times. Like, I couldn't even watch the news, or I would stay off social media because that's all that I would see on my timeline. It's just, I would be nervous for like my family members to go out and about knowing that they could possibly get stopped by the police. Like, that was very frightening. So, like, during that time, like, my anxiety was up. I was like, oh Lord. So literally, when every family member just left the house, I prayed for their safety. So that was really scary. The court is like my safe haven, so I try to get that off my mind. But I mean, off the court, I mean, you have to face reality. Like, it was tough.
Did you have any interesting conversations, either good or bad, or just interesting about race over the last year with people who were not Black?
I would say, like, on my team, we had Zoom calls. We were obviously a diverse team. We knew that they weren't gonna say anything, like, you know, so we just like, we had to initiate it. We're like, hey, like, well, if you want to talk to us, we're here. If you know anything, like, we're also here. Like, we can talk. Like, I mean, if you want to have a tough situation or a conversation, we can have that. I mean, this is a safe space, and we'll respect everyone's responses. Are
there truly close friendships across racial lines on your team, on your college team?
There were. We called it a sisterhood, and so everyone was close, no matter what.
Where do you think you've learned your best leadership lessons?
I just watch other people. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. I'm not the most talkative person. Like, so I think in college, my coach was just like, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that kind of stuck with me, especially being a point guard. Like, I'm like the quarterback of the team. I'm the extension of the coach on the floor. So my teammates are gonna look at me, whether we're facing adversity, things are going well. Like, I have to be that person to direct my teammates whether things are going good or bad. So, I mean, I just have to step into that role and I have to perfect it. I mean, now I've been in the pros and I'm playing with the vets and I'm the point guard. Like, there's a lot of pressure on the point guard in the league, especially like from the college game. Like, I have to be so vocal. I'm still working on that. Like, I have a ways to go, but I think I definitely improved as being vocal.
You're 22, right?
Yes.
And you've got grown women now who have been in the league, and in fact, you're coming arguably to the most important franchise, the Atlanta franchise, that during Black Lives Matter kind of set the tone for everything. What's it like for a young buck like you to try and come in there and be the quarterback of the team?
Hey, communicate!
It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still trying to learn my teammates. They call me Rook, K-Rook, like, tell me where to go. Like, we're gonna follow you, just tell me. So I'm like, okay, well, snap, let me come out my shell. And so I think I've done that the past 2 days of training camp. Like, I got more comfortable and I'm adapting really fast.
Do you think that female sports are about to have their moment?
Yeah, very exciting to start off with, tip off of the 25th season.
Do you feel like it's gonna take some more time before, it becomes a more popular thing?
Like, it came a long way as women's game has evolved tremendously. Everyone's starting to take notice. I mean, not just for the efforts they do off the court, leading protests and stuff like that, but like, these women can actually hoop.
Spins, reverse layup, and one for Brittany Griner.
Who's the toughest player you've ever played against, personally?
Jordan Canada, my freshman year, when she was at UCLA.
Canada brings it down. And McDonald slips defensively.
She's quick, just like me, like lightning quick. And she's crafty too, so she definitely kept me on my heels.
I know you have speed, but will you get physical?
McDonald separates and hits.
I am a physical player. Obviously, I had to kind of not show that to stay out of foul trouble. So I want my team needs me in the college game. I'm glad that I'm in a league where, refs are not even call for like ticky-tack stuff. I can be more physical.
This bench has given them a spark, and here's McDonald again. She's got another bucket.
Be fearless. We can do it. I believe in you. We can do it faster.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Now, tell me how you met your fiance. How did you guys meet each other?
He was really good friends with one of my girl cousins. And so he went to Arizona initially for football, and I went to Washington, and then I committed. And then literally the first day of summer school, I see him. So I'm like, what? Like, this is a familiar face. Like, I know him. And so, yeah, we went out to eat, and then that was history.
And now, who proposed to who?
He proposed to me. It happened in Vegas, our Pac-12 tournament, and I was like, wow. But I mean, my whole family was there. His mom and siblings were there, so I was like, okay.
I want to do a little bit of rapid fire with you. If you could have somebody, an actress, play you in a movie of your life, who would you want to play you?
I would probably say Sanaa Lathan.
Oh, all's fair in love and basketball, baby.
If you could meet anyone, dead or alive, who would you love to meet?
I would love to meet LeBron James.
Who's the greatest men's basketball player of all time?
I mean, of course, Michael Jordan, of course.
Okay.
And my second is LeBron.
3 on the shot clock. James with the long 3 and knocks it down.
Not just because of what he can do on the court and how he makes those better around him, but just what he does in the community. I mean, there's no one else like him. Like, those two, the greatest of all time. But for sure, Michael Jordan is first.
What's your karaoke song?
Boys to Men, Let It Snow.
Yeah.
I am so glad you came on. Like I said, I'm sure you had so many new fans, but I appreciated you. I loved watching you. I love leaders. I love great leaders, and I love great leaders who are fearless and bring energy to it. And it was such a treat to watch you. So I'm looking forward to watching you in Atlanta, and I know you'll be successful. And thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today.
No problem. Thank you for becoming a new fan of mine. Just thank you for having me.
You want in on this?
We're pretty lucky to maybe see somebody like maybe super green right now, but like maybe this could be one of those interviews, but like maybe 5 years from now, we could do a little kind of like follow up.
Yeah.
Just to see how much she has grown and stuff. But something I did find interesting was why she looks up to LeBron James.
She really opened my eyes on that, because I've been a little hostile in the past with people on that question. But
that's a good perspective.
Yeah, but she really won me over because I do value what LeBron has done culturally.
I'm excited to see where she goes. I'm excited to see what happens. I'd love to talk to her again in 5 years and see where she's at.
It will be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see whether, I know she'll be a good player. The question is, will she become a cultural star? Mm-hmm. Over the last 15 years, there really have only been a handful of players who how well they played was married with kind of a little extra magic.
Yeah.
And she could become one, because it's kind of hard to, if you haven't seen her play, she's like this little thing dribbling with the left hand, which you don't see many people do.
No.
Like, she's just going in there and she's just saying, it is my will.
She had no fear.
Right.
Like, I love that.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
why is it that now I'm now 40 and I got all this fear? And this young girl's like, man, they gotta play just like me. I'm here winning, so what's up? I love that about her.
I always like those people who are overlooked, who aren't the fancy ones. She's not the tallest, blah, blah, not the fastest, but still somehow.
Yeah, she do. Right.
Yeah, I do.
Felt that
I like
about
the little
her.
scrappers who just break their teeth on the court, scrap it up, and get back in the game. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed getting to know Aari McDonald a little bit. I'm a big fan, really looking forward to see who she becomes. Appreciated her schooling me on LeBron. I've officially flipped. I'm appreciating what he's done culturally. All right, listen, before you go, be sure to log on to carryoma.com/Carlos. Pick yourself up a pair of their awesome shoes, awesome kicks. In fact, I'm wearing some of them right now. You can too. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send some to my girl, Aari. And as good as her game is, maybe it'll elevate even more. All right, listen, thanks again for tuning in. Remember, you can always subscribe and you can try the podcast. Get to hear the whole deal. I'll see you soon.